with all due benefits of the doubt, because in fact, it's very difficult to predict the effects of a technology. To help you understand, when you watch sci-fi movies made up until the 1980s, everyone imagined all sorts of things, primarily featuring massive spaceships and flying or magnetically levitating cars. Well, to no one. Did it ever occur to anyone to think of something like the internet, not even remotely? I mean, a computerized network that has truly radically changed people's lives. No one ever even vaguely speculated about it in sci-fi speculations. And despite the ongoing scientific research on computers connected to the network, and no one thought that those huge boxes that took up entire rooms could be reduced to the size of something we can hold in our hands. This is a 2 terabyte external solid-state drive. All right, it looks like a wafer. So it's really complicated to predict even in the medium term, and by medium I mean 10 years, given the technological acceleration. What outcomes might the pervasive adoption of AI lead to? A question that's easy to ask is, will AI take our jobs, or whose jobs will it take, and in which sectors? And then we'll get to talk about psychology and what impacts we might have or see on it in interaction with AI. Then it's easy to imagine that the most repetitive jobs will be taken over by computerized systems with AI. Making a list of the jobs that will disappear in the near future is difficult, but for example, I find it hard to imagine that the job my mother did for a lifetime, that of a supermarket cashier, will survive after the year 2100, and I've been quite generous with that timeline, really generous. Warehouse jobs, I think those two, that will be done by machines and artificial intelligence. I see the job of an accountant as being very at risk, or a good part of it, taking another very different one. The shopkeeper, the delicatessen owner, as they say in Rome, who hopes to get by with the neighborhood customers. Without somehow reaching out to an online audience and a marketing strategy that involves the use of AI, I see him in a bad way, even now. Speaking of marketing, Google, for example, integrates AI into Google Ads, which is the advertising system. So then the same shopping malls, which were once the ultimate threat to shopkeepers, are now threatened by online sales powered by AI. Amazon, for example, has implemented Rufus, which is the AI that acts as a shopping assistant. Basically, you can ask questions, and based on your purchase history, it can give you more targeted recommendations. But let's also talk about the medical world, for example. Sure, certain operations, I think of the fields of pediatrics, neonatology, gynecology, and andrology, various medical areas. I doubt they will be too mechanized, because the presence of humans will always be considered primary and also reassuring. Nevertheless, it's certain that all doctors will see some kind of AI integration in their practice, whether in the tools they use or even in pharmacotherapy. It's interesting, in this regard, a study conducted by Anthropic